I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Coming in 3, 2, 1. We are joined by the Soul of Ame. Hi.
Hello.
I appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, I am Soul of Ame. I'm 21. As you can hear, I'm French. And I do streaming since January of this year. And I'm also a video editor.
Oh, so how long have you been editing videos?
Oh, that's complicated because it's been a while since I used software like CapCut. But it was for myself, for my own fun, when I had a TikTok account of myself. Who is deleted now, you can't find it. So yeah, it's been a while. I would say 5 years.
Oh,
But
wow.
I really started to be really serious about it since, I would say, 2 years ago. And it's been since December of last year, so 2024.
Right.
Since I'm very serious about it and think about making commission and stuff.
Oh, cool. And yeah, that's very helpful for a lot of folks because a lot of people want to be able to come on and just make their content, but then it's the extra work of doing the cutting and putting together and making sure everything's in the right order, and that could take a lot of time for a lot of folks who don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes I would say that editing clips, it's in the concept it's very easy, but in fact you have to have the skill to make it funny because everyone can take CapCut or can take any software and cut things, add subtitles. It's not complicated. I think the complicated part is to making it funny, to find a good rhythm, and also all the special effects you can add on it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, when I first started doing went to school for the radio stuff years and years ago. So you're 21. This was way before you were even thought of being born. And back in the 80s, 1980s, we were still using videotape to do video editing, and that took forever. And if you messed up, we actually used razor blades and actual tape to tape the film back together. It took a long time, and you did not want to make a mistake.
Whoa.
It was very tough to fix a mistake once you cut it out already. How long did it take for you to get comfortable with the editing software?
It depends. I don't know because in fact I use multiple one. When I was just for my own little fun, I use CapCut, and CapCut is in fact very easy to use. But when I really start to be serious, I first I think I started first with DaVinci, then I moved on Premiere Pro like everybody else. But after I was in fact, I prefer DaVinci, so I went back to DaVinci. But how much? I think it took me 1 month, and I think it's even less to be really comfortable to know how to use that, how to use that, how to use that. But I was not alone. I was with my best friend, with editor himself for streamers.
Ah,
So
okay.
he helped me a lot.
Ah, so you weren't you weren't just going on there solo trying to figure it out by yourself. You had some help.
Sorry?
You had some help there to try and figure out how to work it, and that probably was a little easier for you.
Yeah, it was easier
Yeah.
because I had my friend.
So how did you get into VTubing?
Ooh, that's a long story. In fact, it started in like I knew about VTubing before that period, but let's say it's like the moment I got interested in it, I think it was around 2022.
Hmm.
I was in my first year of college or university, I don't know how you say it. Apparently there is two words for it, but I was in my first year and I was in one of my worst mental state
Oh.
ever. I was really in a bad state. I
Mm,
was sad, I was depressed.
mm,
And I didn't have a lot. Like I have some hobbies, but I didn't have a lot of stuff. And I discovered a French VTuber. I discovered her stream and I don't know, I felt passionate by it because, I don't know, I found it funny the fact that people have their own little anime avatars
right.
and they made stream with it.
Hmm.
And I got really interested because I was already someone who was a lot in manga, anime, Japanese culture, video game. So I got passionate a lot about it. And I even wanted to do VTubing myself, but the problem was I couldn't
Mm.
because I had a laptop, but this laptop was basically a oven. Like it wasn't made for streaming, so every time I start a game on it, it was overeating. Uh, so yeah, I didn't have the money to have to make streaming. I didn't have the all the material stuff, so I just watched VTuber during all of that time, becoming more and more passionate.
Mm.
And yeah,
Uh,
I was very passionate about VTubing.
So it kind of bubbled up in you. You kept holding it in and holding it in and holding it in, and finally you got your chance. How did you?
Yes.
I mean, when you first turned the microphone on, how comfortable did you get, and how long did it take for you to be comfortable?
Ooh, I don't know how much time it got me to be comfortable because the problem is I chose the hard mode by going in English when it's not my first language.
Mm.
So when I first streamed, the very first stream I did with my PC, it was a stream that you can't watch anymore, and I was so nervous. I was I was very nervous because I had to express myself for like 1 or 2 hours in a language which is not my first language.
Mm.
I was nervous, but I managed to do it. And it took time for me to like be comfortable. And I think that I really start to be comfortable speaking toward a mic when I start to actually stream editing. I don't know why, but just streaming editing made me so comfortable speaking to the mic. So when I said that, I start streaming video editing like last week. But I don't know, just sharing how I edit stuff,
Mhm.
sharing my passion for it, sharing us also how I do it, like how I edit stuff, how I like choose this part and not this part, why I cut this moment,
Right.
why I want to put I don't know this effect, like just explaining stuff, explaining how I do. I don't know. It just made me so comfortable, and I was like, okay, I think I found my shit. I found the things that make me comfortable and makes me want to talk again and again and again and again.
You found something that you were comfortable with, so you
Hmm.
so you settled down very quickly with that, and it became a lot easier for you to kind of talk to everybody else too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because fun fact about me, I wanted during a long moment of my life, I wanted to be a teacher,
Hmm.
an history teacher because I'm very passionate about history. But I quickly gave up on that idea because I don't know. out there in the US, but here in France, it's very shitty to be a professor. But I
Yes.
always wanted to share my knowledge with people. So just doing that, I'm so happy.
Yeah, yeah. I've recently found out not too long ago that a lot of my family history came from France, and it makes me upset because I don't know anything French whatsoever. I don't know the language. I don't know, and I could have learned it when I was younger. It's a bit old, it's a bit tough to have an old dog learn new tricks, but I really wish I would have studied it a lot more back then. I've been trying to now, um, and both sides of my family actually came from France, which I was pretty amazed by. And in fact, one of my ancestors was a king's daughter. Um,
Oh.
yeah, and I don't know if folks realize what that was, but there were several single young ladies that were sent to New France, which is now the Quebec area of Canada, to basically start families, and uh, and she was one of those. And so I'm slowly learning a little bit more about my heritage over there. I would like to see it sometime and see where the old
Mhm.
family came from. But um, so we used to say that you enjoy history. Is it more history of well, what type of history are you a fan of?
Um, I think, how to explain it? I think I just like to learn some random history fact
Mm,
about any time or period of the time. But also, I know there is a thing that I always loved is like learning history of art,
mm,
like learning about all the art, like all the art. I forgot the word for it, but every period of art, whether it's the romantic one, the classic one,
right.
the realistic one, like I always been a passionate about history of art, like learning about the painter, learning about the painting, and you see the painting and you see all the symbolism, like oh that one means that, that means that, and I've been always very passionate about it.
Mm. Is do you find it funny when you see a piece of art and see a painting, say, and you see one meaning of it, and somebody else sees some other completely different meaning out of it?
Hmm. That's what really that's what really passionate me about art is that you can understand like one thing and another thing in a different manner depending on the person, but also of when you how you feel right now. And this is something that is really passioning. um yeah, I'm just repeating what you said in fact,
No,
but
no, no. That's perfectly fine because I really I'm no artist. I can't draw to save my life. I can't certainly can't paint anything but my own fingers. So um, the to see what someone else is trying to do with it is amazing to me. And
Mhm,
and in order for you could have three people look at the same particular art piece of just say a portrait, and they could come up with three completely different opinions of what the person was like, how they were trying to be portrayed by it as the artist, um, it's it gives you a little bit of a very personal take of how the artist wanted to do things.
yeah, that's remind me of a very popular painting. I think it's called The Scream in English.
Hmm.
And like I think there is not, I don't know if there is a official meaning, but I remember that I was in class and everyone had their own interpretation of why this guy was screaming
Yep.
and what the people behind him, what who they were, because I knew that apparently the artist of this painting lost her mom, no, his mom and his sister.
Hmm.
So I was like, oh, he's screaming because he miss his sister and his mom, but I know that everybody in the room had their own interpretation of it.
Yeah. To me, it was. I always thought that that he was at a restaurant and somebody messed up his order.
Normal reaction.
No, again, that's one of those that because the painting has got some age on it, um, we may never know, have any idea because we don't know what the artist was going through at the time, what situation they were
Mhm.
in, how the world was at that point. Um, there's so many things that play into it. Uh, do you would you if I were to show you an art piece and just a portrait, say, uh, how would you look at it? How would you go about it as a connoisseur?
Um, I'm sorry. I'm not sure to have understand what you meant.
Yeah. How do you when I show what up if I were to show you a painting that you hadn't seen before, how would you look at it? Would you be really critical of it, how it was done, or would you try to find a meaning in it?
Mm. I don't know if I would be critical about it because like critical in the sense, oh, that is not good, that is not good, because everyone who paint one day in their life is highly more talented than I am because I never paint anything.
Mm,
I think I would try to look every little things there is on it and like just look at these things and look at the complete stuff and be like okay, so maybe that would mean that
mm-hmm,
maybe I don't know, there is a painting you can see on the clothes, on the jewelry, or maybe that person was someone rich, maybe this was like a noble person, or this person doesn't have any jewelry, so they were maybe not that rich.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff to look just at a portrait, like just looking at the expression of the person. I don't know if they seem sad, if they seems happy, if they seems like more official,
mm-hmm.
some stuff like that. I would
Yeah.
say.
If they look like they're from royalty or some sort of baron or duke or something along those lines, a
Mm-hmm.
count or something along those lines. There's a lot of things you could try to read into it, and and one of the fun things is, no matter we could be completely wrong. It could have been the artist grabbed his cousin and said, "Here, you put this on, and I'll paint you."
It's true. But there is certain gimmick in art that sometimes give you hints about who is the character.
Mm,
I remember when I was studying like history of art that they used to say to us that in medieval painting when the character was very more bigger and taller than the other character, it was a very important character from the Bible, like the Mother Mary, Jesus, etc.
right. Yeah, that's something to remember for sure when you're looking at these things. It's amazing to meet people's different eye and different opinions for art, and you obviously have a wonderful appreciation for it. But you said you don't do any painting yourself, huh?
I draw, like I made pencil drawing and I make digital art with both of them are not very good, but they are decent. But no, I do not paint. I do not paint.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not allowed to because of how bad my stuff is. my wife my wife paints and she has all of the talent in the family. I do not have any talent whatsoever.
You have talent for something else.
I'll just hurt myself if I try to do something like that. But it's fun to see somebody who appreciates it, and it sounds to me like you just appreciate art in general because maybe you're not a painter, but you've got your own different ways that you create art, and frankly, editing is quite a bit of artwork.
Yes. I think that me wanted to be an editor is like a natural, a natural, uh, it's something natural
Right.
considering I love art
Yeah.
because technically, like, I don't really do cinema, but technically, cinema is art.
Hmm.
So, yeah, editing can be seen as, oh, this is something because I like art, so I do editing.
Yeah.
Guess it's something like that.
Yeah. Bad editing can be really bad. If you do it wrong, you could really mess things up. I mean, we've
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen a television show or a movie that that wasn't edited particularly well, and you're like, what in the world just happened?
Always, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I always try to be like empathic. I don't know if it's the right word, but to be understanding and be
Right.
like, they did their best, or maybe it's someone or a channel who doesn't have a lot of money.
Mm.
But yeah, when it's bad edited, it can be very funny, in fact.
I know when back in the days of audio editing, when we weren't using the computer, which is so much easier now, um, we would inevitably create something that was pretty silly by the time we were done. You'd hear all the pops and the edits and everything. It was all the manual stuff, and it was very tough back then to get it to sound right. Um, so, what are your feelings on um, some people now turning to AI to do some of these things?
Honestly, I'm not a very fan of generative AI. Not, but for the there is two reason I'm not a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, it's just stealing other people's works without their consent, and secondly, we know that the server who are used for generative AI are like fucking up the ecosystem. Like it's very bad for the environment. So I'm not a fan of generative AI.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that in some software you have AI, but it's not generative AI. It's like to help people
Right.
make some manipulation who would be way more longer if they did by themselves. So
Right.
it depends on which AI is it. If it's generative AI, I'm very against it. But if it's not, I'm kinda okay with it.
Yeah. I think if you use it as a tool in what you're doing, rather than having it do the whole project, I think you just kind of said that in a different way. Um, that makes a big difference, especially to those of us who don't have any talent. um, it looks it might end up looking pretty decent if you get some help with it, but the whole computers taking over thing is a little bit scary, and uh, the biggest part of art is the human part of it, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. Without that perspective, we're just getting a newspaper photograph or something, and even then, the newspaper is doing a better job than that. So when you're streaming now, what can I see on an average stream from you?
Most of so first of all, I want to say that my streaming is very rarely scheduled. Most of the time, I'm just like, oh, I want to stream, so
Hmm.
I'm streaming. Most of the time, you will see, like I said, video editing stream, but you can also have. I play a lot of demo of simulator game.
Mm.
I don't know why, but I have a very high passion from simulator game. But I don't have the money to pay for it, so I just play the demo of every simulator game I can play. So
Mm.
it will be mostly the both of it. But I plan to do other games,
Yeah,
but for now it's mostly the two of that.
yeah. So what is your favorite simulation game, or do you have one?
I think my favorite simulator game, and I'm very sad because I can't play it anymore,
Mm.
was what is it? I think it was Cooking Simulator, the
Oh,
impossible simulator game for cooking, but in fact, the VR version is way more playable than the desktop version. So
oh.
yeah, the VR version of Cooking Simulator, I love this game. I used to play it on my ex-boyfriend PC,
Mm-hmm.
but since we're not together anymore, I can't play it anymore, and I think it's that game that made me love simulator game because I just had so much fun
Mm.
just cooking stuff
Yeah.
in the free play mode, just cooking stuff. I don't know, I just had so much fun. Like I can cook stuff in a restaurant kitchen without being stressed because I have to serve someone.
Yeah, you don't have the time limit on you, and you can
Exactly.
and you can erase mistakes and can't just oh, just throw some more butter on it, maybe it'll work. Yeah. So what other simulator games are you have you enjoyed?
Mm, I think the last simulator game I really enjoyed it was a game called, I hope I don't say it in a wrong way because I don't have the complete name in my mind, but it was like Wrap House Simulator, with basically a game where you play a Turkish guy who is making wrap and donor in his little restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why it has so much impact on me, but I had the chance to have the developer in my chat when I played it,
Yeah.
and it's really authentic because it was made by Turkish person
Ah.
with in mind the fact to really give you a very authentic and realistic experience, so you really have the impression to be in Turkey to play in a really doner restaurant, like a really real doner restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, it's just realistic enough in the context, in the product you use, in the way you prepare stuff to be like, oh, they really know
Yeah.
what they are doing. So there is a very realistic way to like the way the game is made, the way the products, the way always the kitchen, always the place where you serve people. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, it's authentic.
So you had the developer in your chat?
Yes.
Oh, what did they think of you playing it?
They were very happy because I can't I can't be sure of that information, but I think it's like a very small team of developers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they were very happy I play it, and like they were giving me some tricks to do, and like since they were in my chat, I was asking them questions like if they were from Turkey, if they really searched to be in authentic like to be very authentic. Like I
Right.
just
Right.
asked them question, and they were very happy that I was asking them question.
Yes.
They also wanted some feedback about the game, so I really didn't have so much, but they were happy to hear the feedback,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just happy to see someone playing it in general.
Yeah. Well, that must have made you feel pretty good.
I was when okay, it went like that. A guy went in my chat and was like, "Hey, you should do that." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. Do you know the game?" And the guy just said, "Oh, I'm the developer." And I was gagged for 5 minutes.
So suddenly you've got a rock star in the chat.
Yes.
I don't want to mess this game up in front of them. Well, I mean, how is that? How does it affect you when you realize that there are people in the chat that are there specifically because you are on chat?
Mm, it's it's a feeling that is I cannot describe because first of all, I don't have a lot of people in my chat yet because I just started like 4 months ago, 5 or 4. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to. Um, I don't know. It's feel weird. It's feel like I don't know how to describe it. In fact, I'm just very happy of it. I
Mm-hmm.
would say. Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just happy.
Mm. I say, you don't get a feeling that you're suddenly up on stage and people are watching what you're doing?
Yeah, there is that impression that people are watching you, but I was prepared for it because it's the point. It's the point. People are watching you doing stuff.
That's why you're doing it in the first place.
Exactly.
So I have to ask this because I don't hear a lot of people streaming in languages outside of English or maybe Japanese. But have you done any French streams?
No, it's a voluntary choice to not stream in French. Like sometimes where I know there is some people who are French who are watching me and who do not speak English well, so sometimes I translate for them what I'm saying in English. But no, I never really made a 100% French stream.
Hmm.
Maybe if one day I have to collab with some French VTuber because I talk to French VTuber, of course, I will speak in French. I will not speak in English. It would make no sense. But it's a voluntary, like it's voluntary for me to not speak in French most of the time because I really just want to speak in English in my stream. Because when I was, in fact, I had this moment where I was like, do I speak in French or do I speak in English during the stream? And when I imagine myself streaming, I was imagining myself speaking in English and not in French. So I was just like, I want to do it in English. Let's do it in English.
Mm. So if there was a chance and you saw that there was an audience for it and there were a lot of people who were looking for French speaking VTubers, would you consider it?
I'm not close to the idea to speak in French. Like, let's say one day I'm like, okay, I'm done with English. I want to do it in French. Why not? But there is already a lot of French VTuber out there. Like there is a lot of people who already stream in French.
Mhm.
So I don't think me would be necessary, in fact, because there is already a very high number of French VTuber, and there is more and more every day.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure of that happening one day.
Yeah, yeah, I believe it's happening in a lot of different countries. Um,
Mhm.
has How does that affect you when you realize that you could be talking to somebody on the other side of the world?
This is fascinating. I really love that idea that I like right now I'm speaking to someone who have probably the age of my dad on an interview. My best friend is from is from Brazil. Some of my other friends live in the US. Some of my friends live in Australia.
Yeah.
I find it wonderful. I'm very happy that we are in a period of time where you can speak to someone who live in the other side of the world and just have fun with them, vibe with them. It's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, it is an amazing thing. It makes the world very small in a good way for most of the time.
Yes.
And your generation kind of gets the benefit of it. For if when
Mhm.
I was in radio way back when, uh, talking to you would have cost a fortune. We would have had to go over land telephone lines, which would have cost a lot, and it wouldn't have sounded very good because it was basically over land telephone lines and sometimes a satellite, which didn't work sometimes. So it wouldn't have been very good quality at all. But now you're able to go live and talk with people, say who might speak French in another part of the world. That's which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, in fact, I had a lot of friends who are from like Canadian, like French Canada,
Hmm.
and I'm just happy to speak in French with people who lives in a whole other continent.
Hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's and the audience is getting bigger every day. Are you
Mm.
happy with where you are now on your channel? Have you done
Uh,
better than you thought, or what?
I'm uh, I'm still at the very beginning, but I'm happy because I'm starting very slowly but surely to gain more and more people being interested in what I do. I think that the fact that I have an accent may play on it because for some reason English speaking people seems to love accents, so I think there is a little bit of that. But I see that very slowly people are starting to get interested in what I do,
Hmm.
whether it's like streaming or when I post some clips, whether it's my personal clips or like clips I do for my portfolio. And most of the time, the clips I do for my portfolio are from other streamers who gave me the authorization to do so.
Hmm.
I have an example. I edited two shorts, so two clips of the same streamer on my portfolio, and I posted on it, and I was like, it will not make more than 50 view, and we went to like one for the biggest one, we went from like 1,000
Oh.
and 400 views. I was like, what?
It's like hello.
I don't remember if it's 4 or 300, but some numbers like that.
Wow, that's cool. So. Can someone hire you to do editing work?
For now, nobody's hiring me, like nobody's paying me because I have to do all the legal stuff to
Oh,
be like really in the law and not making tax fraud.
yeah, that's true.
But I plan to open commission like very soon when I have everything set up.
Mm, that's cool. That's going to be. I think there'll be a lot of people who are going to be wanting that business from you. So what is something that you really want to do online but you haven't done yet?
A collaboration with other streamer.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to do that. Either it's French or English people,
Mm-hmm.
for English speaking people. I really want to do that, but I'm shy.
Oh.
I'm shy.
Oh. Well, I
Mhm.
mean, I can understand that, but there's a lot of people who are that way too. That might want to make that first collaboration with someone. And once you kind of get to know each other, maybe you can have an online friendship with.
Yes.
And so you haven't. So what kind of game would you like to collaborate with?
Mm, a good question. I'm pretty open to it. If I really have to choose a game, I think it would be either like games like maybe content warning. How is it called?
Yeah,
Repo,
yeah,
or I
yeah,
forgot the name of the third one. But all of that game where you have to do a little mission
yeah.
together and you have a voice chat implemented in the game. I find it really funny to watch it, and it truly be very funny to play with other people.
There'd be a lot of chaos, that's for sure. That would be a lot of fun. Well, I tell you what, it's an absolute joy talking with you. It's
Thank you.
very obvious how much you enjoy this, and um, I want to see how it develops for you because you've got a very infectious personality in a good way. People are going to want to come and see what you've got going on. Um, I'm going to have all the descriptions, all the links in the descriptions to come see you. Do you have any big events coming up anytime soon, or do you have any plans that way?
Now I don't really have one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, no, that's fine. I just didn't know whether you wanted to had a special event coming up that you'd want to plug. Is there something that you'd like to do in the future? Maybe a marathon or some sort of charity event?
Oh, I would really like to do charity events. For now, I'm way too small to have the pretension, but I really want to do charity event because I'm someone who is very empathic,
Hmm.
and I really don't like seeing people being in need or animals being in need and not able to do anything because I don't have money or something like that, or I'm too
Hmm.
far for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, charity event would be very good.
Well, I tell you what, folks, if you're out there listening, and I know we do have a lot of VTubers who are listening, um, if one of those folks reaches out to you and says, I'd really like to collaborate with you, would you be willing to take them up on the offer?
I would first being, oh my god, someone is talking to me. How do I speak English? Hello, and I would be very happy to do it.
Yeah. Well, folks, I can't see why someone wouldn't want to, because it's an obviously a wonderful person we've been talking with here, Soul of Ame. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll get you on again here once you get everything rolling. And I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be wanting to know what Soul of Ame is all about. Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.